Good morning. I'm here with Ryan Schnoes, my account manager. Ryan covers Butler, Blackhawk, and part of Grundy County, and he's here today to explain, I guess, what we're seeing in this geography as far as crop conditions. And something else I'd like to have him talk about too is EncircaView, Pioneer's new app that, well, I'll just let him explain more about it.
All right, thanks, Brett. So really, for the most part, as we stand here today on June 6th and look at where we're at in terms of corn and soybean planting, for the most part, every place in my area is completed with planting, and really the crop looks pretty darn good considering all the things that we went through. From a corn standpoint, much of the corn all went in that week of May 6th, and for the most part, conditions were pretty good. However, we did notice that there were some fields that were worked maybe just a little bit too early and may have been rushed just a touch on planting. And some of the issues resulting from that is we're seeing a little bit of some inconsistency in stands. One of the main challenges is if the field was planted when it was just a little bit too wet still, we're noticing where that seed slot might have closed up after the closing wheels and the planter went across the field. However, once we started to dry back out after that week, and turn hot, we notice where that seed slot's starting to open back up. And what's the result of that is we're seeing some seedlings that got started but then kind of stopped due to the fact that they were exposed to air. And then also from that period of rain and hot weather after planting, we're noticing where there was a pretty good crust that developed on the surface as well, causing some of the corn plants to leaf out underground and resulting in some reduced stands, probably anywhere from that 3,000 to 6,000 range, depending upon how much of a crust that you had. You know, in this time of year is always a great opportunity for you as a farmer to go out and walk your cornfields and really take a look at how good a job that you did on your spacing, how good a job you did on depth control, and those two things are really critical. The other thing I like to do too is take a putty knife or a pocket knife and dig up some plants and really concentrate on that seed slot area. If it's really firm and your seed slot's opening up, or if it seems like you got some sidewall compaction, that's kind of clue number one that it may have been a little bit tacky when you were out there planting. So use that kind of as a gauge for maybe adjustments for next year. As far as soybeans are concerned, all the soybeans in this area are planted, and for the most part all soybeans that went in earlier are up and at them and look really good. Some of the later planted soybeans that got planted into dry dirt, those are struggling a little bit to come up evenly, and part of that is due to a couple things. Simply just because they weren't all planted into moisture, and then the second challenge that we're seeing is fields that were planted into no-till or limited till with a lot of residue. We're seeing especially where growers shallowed up their planting depth, where we've got some soybeans that are already in the unifoliate leaves stage and they're really looking good, and then we've got some soybeans that really look like they just came out of the bag and are laying in dry dirt or on top of the ground. Now if we can get a rain like they're predicting around here on Saturday, I think some of those soybeans will still make it and help add to our stands so that we could still capture the maximum yield, as well as hopefully keep down some of the weed pressure in them areas where our stands are a little bit light. And then I guess the other thing I'd like to mention, like Brett had said earlier, is just to give you guys a little insight into our new app from Pioneer called EncircaView. The best part about this app is it's available to all growers, and it's also a very effective app in terms of sharing notes, whether that be with other people in your operation or sharing notes with myself or Brett or anybody on his team. It's a free service that we're really excited for our growers to download and use. It's available on your cellular device as far as a phone, tablet, or you can even create notes on your desktop computer. You can share not just notes but photos as well. And so if you have any more questions on this or would like to find out how you could get signed up for this exciting free app, go ahead and visit Brett's website. There'll be more information there, and it should walk you through the process of starting to take notes using the new EncircaView platform.
Thanks, Ryan.
You bet. Thank you.